Hello students, welcome to our channel Learning Notebook. In today's video, we will do complete chapter of reproduction in plant. Before starting with this video, let me tell you that we have made videos on every chapter of class 5 science. We also have interesting quizzes on each chapter. You can find all of them on our channel Learning Notebook. Also, you can see a list of all such videos on our website. The link to our website is below in the description box. Let's see what all topics we are going to cover today in this video. First, we will learn what is reproduction. Then we will understand reproduction in plants by seed. Then we will learn about seed, germination of seed, and dispersal of seed by wind, water, air, animals and explosion. After that, we will discuss vegetative propagation, that is from root, stem, leaf and spores. And in the end, students, I will give you a worksheet for your practice. So let's start with reproduction. So what is reproduction? The process by which a living organism produces a new organism of same kind is called reproduction. Like in case of animals, they produce new babies of same kind. And in case of plants, they produce new plants of same kind. So students, in this chapter, we will study about reproduction in plants. Plant reproduction takes place mainly by two ways. First, by seeds and second, by vegetative propagation, that is by different parts of the plant. So first, let's understand reproduction in plants by seeds. If we sow a seed in soil and the seed gets right amount of air, water and temperature, it will germinate into a small plant called seedling. Like in this picture, look here. If we sow this seed in soil and this seed, when gets right amount of air, water and temperature, it germinates into a small plant which is known as seedling. So this is the seedling. The seed has a small shoot and a small root. So seed has become a seedling now. Then this seedling grows and develops root and shoot to form baby plant. Like here, the seedling has grown and it has developed more roots and shoots to form baby plant. After this, the baby plant form new branches and leaves, and in this way, the plant continues to grow. Like here, the baby plant has now more leaves and has formed new branches, and this plant will continue to grow. So in this way, a plant is reproduced by a seed. So seed is very important for plant reproduction. Now students, let's learn more about seed. Students, this is a seed. Here I am taking an example of bean seed. In Hindi, we call it rajma. Look here. The outer covering of seed is called seed coat. So this is seed coat, the outer covering of the seed. Next, on removing this seed coat, we can see two parts attached together. These are called seed leaves or cotyledons. Like here, when we remove the seed coat, we can see there are two parts attached together. These are called cotyledons. Next, there is a small greenish appearance which is the beginning of baby plant. It is called embryo. Look here, in this cotyledon there is a baby plant which is known as embryo. And food for this baby plant is stored in cotyledons only. For the time embryo does not grow its leaves and roots, it gets its food from cotyledons. Students, some plants have one cotyledon and some plants have two cotyledons. Like here, we have taken example of beans, which have two cotyledons. So, some plants have one cotyledon while other plants have two cotyledons. So, based on this, there are monocot plants and dicot plants. Let's learn about them. So, first let's learn about monocot plants. Plants having seeds with one cotyledon are called monocot plants. Let's see some examples. Maize, onion, wheat, rice and lily. Seeds of all these plants have one cotyledon only, and thus these plants are known as monocot plants. Next, what are dicot plants? Plants having seeds with two cotyledons are called dicot plants. For example, beans, grams, peas, groundnuts, legumes. Seeds of all these plants have two cotyledons and thus they are called as dicot plants. Students, we would like to tell you that we have made videos on every chapter of Class 4, Class 5 and Class 6 Science. We also have interesting worksheets and quizzes on each chapter. So I would suggest you to check out our channel Learning Notebook. Now let's move to our next topic, germination of seed. So what is germination of seed? The process of seed growing into a new plant is called germination. The suitable conditions needed for germination are availability of air, water and right temperature. So why air is required for germination? Germinating seed needs air to breathe. So air is needed for seeds to breathe. Next, why water is required? Water is required to make seed coat soft. Water makes the seed coat soft. And next, why right temperature is needed for germination? Right temperature makes the embryo of seed active. So that is why air, water and right temperature are needed for germination of seeds. Now during germination, seed absorbs water and cells of embryo start dividing and increasing in size. Due to this, the seed coat breaks and small root emerges from seed which grows downwards. It is called radicle. Like here students, this small root which is emerging from seed and is growing downwards is called radicle. Then small shoot emerges from seed and grows upwards. It is called a plumule. Like here, this small shoot is emerging from seed and it is growing upwards. So this shoot is called as plumule. And then the seed with small shoot and a small root is called seedling. So here, this is known as seedling, the seed which has got a small shoot and a small root. It is called as seedling. This growing seedling uses the food which is stored in cotyledon for its growth. So it is using the food which is stored here in this cotyledon for its growth. Now see in the next picture, the shoot is growing as well as root is growing. And how are they growing? They are growing with the help of food stored in cotyledon. Also students, do observe as the food is getting used up from cotyledon, the size of cotyledon is decreasing, right? And after few days, green leaves start appearing, and then this small plant can prepare its own food by a process called photosynthesis. Also by this time, food in cotyledon is all used up. And now the seed has developed into a new plant. Look here, the seed has developed into a new plant and it has green leaves and it is going to make its own food by the process of photosynthesis. So this was all about germination of seed. Let's move to our next topic, dispersal of seed. Students, we know plants are fixed to the ground and cannot move from one place to another. So, if all seeds fall near the parent plant and start germinating, then what will happen? Tell me. Yes, those seeds will not get enough light, water and space to grow. Therefore, parent plants need to scatter their seeds far away from them. And this process is known as dispersal of seeds. So remember that parent plants need to scatter their seeds far away from itself, and this happens by a process known as dispersal of seeds. And the process by which these seeds are scattered far away from the mother plant is called as dispersal. Now let's learn about ways of dispersal of seeds. There are 4 main ways by which plants disperse their seeds naturally. These ways are dispersal by wind, dispersal by water, dispersal by animals, and dispersal by explosive mechanism. Let's learn each of these ways one by one. First, we will understand dispersal by wind. Many plants have seeds which are very light, and these seeds can be easily carried away by wind. And some seeds have hair-like structures which help them to be carried away by wind easily to faraway places. Examples of such seeds are cotton, dandelion, hyptade seeds. Now let me show you all these seeds. These are cotton seeds. See these hair-like structures which are attached to seeds, and when the wind blows, these seeds are carried away to faraway places. Now these are dandelion seeds. They also have hair-like structures. See here, when the wind is blowing, they are easily being carried away by wind to faraway places. Lastly, these are hiptage seeds. They have wing-like structures. See here. And that is why these seeds are also called as mini helicopters. Students, due to these wings only, these seeds are dispersed by wind easily. So this was the first way of dispersal of seeds. Now let's learn the second way, which is dispersal of seeds by water. Seeds of many plants growing in or near water bodies are dispersed by water. Such seeds are either spongy or have a fibrous coating so that they can easily float in water far away from the mother plant. Now students, look here. Can you tell me which plant is this? Yes, it is lotus plant. So lotus seeds are commonly dispersed by water. Another example is coconut seeds. So lotus seeds and coconut seeds are easily dispersed by water. Now third way of dispersal of seeds are dispersal by animals. Animals and birds easily disperse the seeds when they eat the fruit and throw away its seeds. Like here, these sparrows are eating the food and throwing away the seeds. So this is known as dispersal by animals and birds. For example, seeds of apple, orange, and berries are dispersed by birds and animals. Also students, birds swallow some seeds which come out unchanged in their droppings. For example, elephants, they eat fruits which fall from trees and then they deposit the seeds miles away through their droppings. See here, these are the droppings of elephants. And in both these pictures, you can see plants are growing in elephant droppings away from the parent plant. Also, seeds of some plants have hooks, spines, which stick to the bodies of birds and animals and thus get dispersed. For example, seeds of cockleburr and burdock stick to the bodies of birds and animals and then they get dispersed. So this was the third way of dispersal of seeds by animals. Last way is dispersal by explosion or explosive mechanism. Some plants have a special method of seed dispersal with their own force once the fruit ripens. These plants have pods which explode when the fruits ripe and seeds get scattered in all the directions. For example, seeds of pea, beans, balsam, ladyfinger are dispersed by explosive mechanism. Students, this is balsam plant and this is fruit of balsam. And see how it is exploding with its own force and dispersing the seeds in all the directions. Let me show you how this explosive mechanism happens. This is how balsam seeds are dispersed by this explosive mechanism once their fruit ripens. So these are the 4 ways of dispersal of seeds. Students, we have a separate video on complete chapter of animal habitat and adaptation for class 5 science. You will find the link to this video here on the top and below in the description box. Next topic is vegetative propagation. So students, till now we have learnt about the first method of plant reproduction, which was by seeds. Now let's understand the second method of plant reproduction, which is vegetative propagation. Some plants can be grown without seeds. They can grow from other parts of plants. So growing plants from other parts of the plant such as root, stem or leaves is called as vegetative propagation. There are 4 main ways by which plants can reproduce vegetatively. These ways are from roots, from stem, from leaves and from spores. Let's understand all these ways one by one. First, let's understand vegetative propagation from roots. Plants like carrot, sweet potato, turnip, beetroot and dahlia can reproduce with the help of their roots. Their roots are thick and fleshy. Now students, see here how new plants are growing from their fleshy roots of carrot that are in the soil. So this one was vegetative propagation from roots. Now let's understand vegetative propagation from stem. Rose, money plant and sugarcane can grow into a new plant by stem cuttings. Like, look here in this first picture. These are the stems of rose plant. If we put them in the soil and provide them with air, water and sunlight, then these stems will reproduce. That is, they will grow into a new plant. Same for money plant and sugarcane. They can reproduce by stem cuttings. Students, do you know onion, ginger, potato are stems and they are underground stems. These underground stems also grow into new plants. Like here in this picture, onion is growing into a new plant. Now look here, ginger is growing into a new plant, right? And similarly for potato also, these are potatoes. They also reproduce with the help of their underground stem. So this was vegetative propagation from stems. Third way is vegetative propagation from leaves. Leaves of birophyllum and begonia give rise to new plants on their edges. And then these plantlets fall off and give rise to new plants. Like here in this first picture, these are leaves of birophyllum. And you can see that new plants are growing on the edges of its leaves. Now these plantlets will fall off and they will give rise to new plant. And same for here, begonia also. Same thing happens. So this was vegetative propagation from leaves. Now let's learn vegetative propagation from spores. Some plants such as fern, mushroom do not have flowers. Such plants are called as non-flowering plants. These plants produce spores which are small, round and light. Like here you can see this is a mushroom plant and these are the spores of mushroom plant. These are small and round and light as well. Due to this, these spores get scattered in different directions and grow into new plants. So students, plants like fern and mushroom, they reproduce with the help of their spores. Now this is the fern plant and these are the spores of fern plant. So these were the 4 ways of reproduction by vegetative propagation. And now I am sure you have understood how plants reproduce. So in the end, I am giving you a worksheet for your practice. This worksheet contains questions from all the sections of the chapter which I have just taught you. So before attempting this worksheet, I will suggest you to watch the video carefully. You can find the answers to this worksheet below in the description box. Do watch my other videos and share my channel and my videos with your friends and family. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video. Bye bye.